Shreya.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
1 second, I'll introduce you to the
Yeah.
audience. So, Shreya will be talking about home and family environment. Um, Shreya PT is a disability inclusion advocate and practices as an online counselor and works as a consultant at Identity Clinic. Her main aim is to help people heal and lead better lives. Thanks so much for joining, Shreya. Over to you.
First of all, I would like to thank Chetan sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be part of this wonderful workshop. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining on this Sunday evening. So first, what I would like to start off with in terms of family and home environment experiences is the first thing that comes is the acceptance of the child's situation. That is one crucial step. It's very difficult for any parent, for any parent to accept the matter of fact that the child is diagnosed with some disability. That's a very difficult part. So that is one of the major factor. For me for me, I was lucky enough because my parents were supportive. Yes, for them also, it was very difficult to accept the matter of fact that I'm a slow learner and I'll need help in special education. So that was really difficult for them. But touch wood, for me, they were extremely supportive with the fact that okay, I had to be shifted to a special school for my better education, for my better future in life. So that was one part. But the second part started when the family members were not so okay with it. Like, that was the major thing that happened. That she looks absolutely fine. Why does she need to go to a special school? Why don't you just shift the school? Why don't you just put her into some other normal school? She'll be absolutely fine. Why do you want to put her? So the notion that just because a person looks normal in a certain way, and just by looks you can't say that the person is having a problem or not. I think that is one huge drawback. And how our Indian society sees disability matters. For me, I was extremely lucky that I had supportive parents, but I have my friends, who are there till now with me, like, who come from disability background. Unfortunately, they were made to hide that, they studied in special school from their own parents. And even for me, it used to be like, whenever I used to go out for a party or a function or a wedding, that would be that it would be very difficult to introduce myself as a person that I come from a special school background. I wouldn't mention that. I would just say that I studied in Brindavan Education Trust. Apart from that, it was a school who would cater to children with special needs and all that. I wouldn't mention that because there was a lot of stigma and shame that was associated to it. Like, just because you are having some disability issues means that you are treated in a very different way. I mean, that's really sad that even today, though we have progressed so much as a society, family support and family environment matters, but the problem is still they are not at all supportive. I have seen that when somebody says that the child is from a special school, there are relatives or there are other family members coming and telling the parents things like, oh, why did you put the child into a special school? What is wrong? She looks absolutely fine. I think that is something that's really sad. And what I want to what I want to ask the parents or request the parents is that please be supportive with your children when they are diagnosed with a certain disability. I think that is very important because you can ignore other family members to a certain extent whatever they say, but when parents themselves are not supportive, that becomes extremely difficult. Because I have seen and I have experienced my own very extremely close friends going through it. Like, you can't read, you can't study, why are you like this? Own parent making the child feel that they're not worth it, or they're not worth of things that a normal child is worth of. So that's extremely sad. And even the society, even the society, I think the major thing a government should do is, as Puneet sir said before, that sensitizing people regarding disability. It's absolutely fine to be disabled, or it's absolutely fine to be different from somebody. I think the kind of awareness that needs to get in is extremely important. Not in just in terms of education, or not in just in terms of workplace. It is also the home environments that should reach, because until unless a child with disability does not get this support of the family, it is really difficult for the child to come up in life. For me, I would really like to thank my parents, because today I'm a counselor. I do online counseling. I try help people to heal themselves, but the same chances are not given to the other child. There are cases where I have seen that the child has certain problem, but the family is not at all ready to accept it. They are saying that, oh, my child is absolutely fine. Why does she need any kind of help? She's just lazy, or she does not want to take interest. So these are the kind of the stigma that gets associated, and it's really sad. At home itself the child is made to feel that, oh, you're not worth it. you know and what happens is, when these kind of things happens, the child is led to a stage of self doubt. Initially that happened to me, like when I was diagnosed with the fact that I had learning disability and I had to be shifted to a special school. So for me, there was a lot of different things, because in a normal school, you are made to wear a uniform and all that. We used to wear colored dress. So initially, I was studying in a normal school, and I switched to a special school. So it was very difficult for me. And then the other family members started with that. Oh, they started to taunt that, what kind of a school is this, what kind of education are they giving. So it's extremely sad that I feel that parents should be more accepting and sensitive, and even the other family members, that if you don't understand what exactly the problem is, they shouldn't interfere there, or they shouldn't pass negative comments that may affect the parents. See, with children, the family as well gets affected. It is not just the child, it's the parents, it's the siblings, if they have siblings. Even siblings go through a lot of things. They see that, okay, I am absolutely fine, but why is my brother or sister like this? And then when the family only says that, oh, the child is very different, the child is disabled and all that, that kind of shame towards the sibling becomes more. So I feel, as a society, we should be more educated in terms of the family part, because it's really sad. It's extremely sad to see that even today, if a child is having disability, or if a child is having any other problems, learning problems, or any other difficulty, they are not given that kind of love, affection, and the opportunity that a child deserves. They are ignored. They are made to stay away. It's really sad part. In some houses, they're not brought to social events. They are made to feel like as though they are not part of the normal society. So it's really sad. Yes, to a certain extent there has been a little normalcy, but still today we see so many places that the fact that a person with disability is treated very differently. And the kind of support that is given by the society to the parents, to the family, is also not very great. I would like to talk about that as well. Nowadays both the parents go for jobs. Both are working, and for a child with disability, some of the children will with disability will need full day care, sorry, full day care. And the society is not at all understanding. In fact, they are judged that, why do you run around so much, or they are not able to be more productive as they are supposed to be. So it becomes very difficult until unless the society is not aware of the this thing. And if the society is still not sensitized, they should be sensitized with the fact that it's absolutely normal, for a child to have some sort of disability or some sort of a issue. Because what happens is there is lot of pressure on the parents that your child should be perfect, that your child should be perfect, the child should score 90% and above. So there's lot of, what do you say, the pressure on the parents from the day the child is born. And it starts with basics, like, oh, your child looks dark or your child looks fair. And as they start growing, oh, my child started to walk early, didn't your child start to walk early? So all these comparisons starts there. And then if the child is diagnosed with some disability or some problem, then the major problem starts. The parent feels guilty that, okay, what mistake did I do that the child is having this kind of problem? That's because the society is still not desensitized with the matter of fact that it's absolutely fine that the child is having a sort of disability. For me also, there used to be, when I say that I come from a special school background, people would say, oh, you look fine, why did you go to a special school? Or there would be comments on my appearance, because I have spina bifida. It's a physical condition, so I look a little tilted. So there used to be judgments like, okay, are you sure that you're capable? That has happened to me even in the family functions or wherever I go. So, and the way they tell it is also not in a proper way, it's like a taunt. That's because of lack of awareness, I think, lack of desensitization, and lack of acceptance of the child's condition because of the societal pressure that my child should be perfect. I think every parent through this workshop, I would like to request the parents that please let your child be the way they are. If they're a slow learner, it's fine. They'll pick up. If they're having any sort of disability, it's fine. I know as a parent it's very difficult to accept it, but please don't compare your child with another children. It's not good at all. And trust me, if you are letting your child the way they are, that would be really helpful. And the amount of support you give matters a lot. I think I'm one of those examples when parents support you, what a child can become. So I would really urge to the parents, and I would also like the government to come up with laws, rules, and regulations that desensitizes the society with disability. And as well as I would like to urge that there should be some laws where children are looked after in a very dignified way. There should be some sort of punishments as well if the child is behaved, if the child is treated in really wrong way or in a cruel way. Because this happens, if a child is having some difficulty, if it is a severe problem, the child does not understand what is happening around him or her, the child is misbehaved, they are, they behave really bad with the child. It's extremely sad that we are becoming so advanced, we are growing as a society, but humanity is lagging behind somewhere between all these things. So I would really request the government, and through this workshop I would also like to tell the parents is, don't let a third person comment on your child. I think that would be something that I would like to request. Because what happens is, it's not the fault of the parents. Sometimes the relatives or anybody, they kind of make them feel that, okay, you should do this, you should do that, why your child is like this and all that. So under that pressure, under that stress, the parents may become very insensitive to their own children. So I feel that, they should be little sensitive, and even the government should come up with laws that protect the rights of these children, who are disabled. And they should be more, educated, through the I mean, educated. I'm pretty sure nowadays, all of us use social media, whoever it is. we are more addicted to our phones. I really feel that if people try to create awareness about the disability and how it is so normal, I think that would be really helpful. And if a child is treated the way he or she should be treated is done, I'm pretty sure a child with disability also can do better things in life. So I would like to end and thank you so much, Chetan sir, for giving me this opportunity. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for bringing out so many important things, and for sharing so many of your experiences. It was quite interesting that you shared how concept of acceptance starts from self, and
Yes,
how that's a process. That's something that suddenly is not
yes,
achieved. It also brought about the invisibility component of
correct.
dyslexia, learning disability, and how that also creates ableism, and importantly about how hiding that can cause more stigma
Yes,
and more
yes,
discrimination in the society, and how talking about it actually sort of destigmatizes it. And also for bringing about talking about the point of working parents, siblings,
yeah,
you know and about the perfection that a lot of parents look for in their children. So about highlighting the government's role, in really having certain policies in place. Thanks so much for this, Shreya.
yes,
It was
thank
wonderful
you.
listening to you. Right.